Hey guys, my name's David. I'm the owner of Forestry Films. And I get so many people who ask me what kind of camera do you use and how do you do this? How do you charge these certain prices? How do you do your website? And just so many different questions that I thought it would be incredible to start a series where I answer various people's questions and I really start to give back to you guys who watch all our incredible films and really tell you how we make these films. So this is, the start of it. And I get a lot of people asking, how'd you guys get started? How'd you go from 0 weddings to doing 30 weddings a year, traveling all over the world? And I wanted to share some of that with you guys. When we first started, it was not anywhere near what it is now. Actually, how I got started, strangely enough, was doing magic. I used to be a street magician when I was in junior high. My dad actually ended up getting me one of those small kind of soccer mom type cameras. What I ended up doing was I started filming my performances. I started filming me going up to strangers on the street and putting it up on YouTube. My parents actually got me Final Cut and I was able to learn how to edit. And through that whole process, I actually realized that, hey, I like doing film way more than I like doing magic. And kind of cheesily, I was like, oh, well, the real magic isn't in, showing someone a card trick, it's in filmmaking. I can manipulate their emotions, I can cause them to feel a certain way or buy a certain product. And, from that point on, it was just, what I wanted to do with my life. I think there's tons of weddings and corporate events that I shot basically for free, but I just wanted to be there. I wanted to learn. So I would third shoot for tons of weddings. I would help out at my church. One of my friends said, hey, I'm doing a short film. I just need someone to run audio. I'd be like, I'm there. All throughout high school, that's what I did. Near the end of high school, I met this awesome girl whose name is Harmony, who's now my wife, and she's behind this camera right now, giving me a really interesting look, basically don't say anything embarrassing, but her name's Harmony. I may or may not throw up a picture in the video. We'll see. She probably won't like me for that. But I met her and she was doing photography. And first off, I was attracted to her stunning good looks because she is hot, smoking, awesome wife. But then in talking to her, I found out she did photo. And so we started talking and we actually ended up dating. And we, both in our, I think, 16 or 17-year-old brilliant minds said, hey, you do photo, I do video, let's start a photo video company. Not once did we think about the possibility that we would break up or, that this whole thing would end in ruins. We were just, high in the sky, just thinking this will be awesome. And so I remember very specifically, I think it was a Friday after school and we're at Chick-fil-A and we're, brainstorming. We thought we were Warren Buffett's or Steve Jobs and we were going to just change the world with our awesome business idea. And on a Chick-fil-A napkin, we wrote down our 2-step business plan, basically shoot one wedding, and then everyone will tell their friends and we'll be millionaires. That did not happen, but we ended up coming up with a name and a brand and...
Don't say the name.
I will not tell you the name because it is very embarrassing. Like in Harry Potter, he who shall not be named, that was, our first name. So we'll just leave it at that. The logo had a heart and it was teal and it looked like Babies R Us just threw up over a wedding brand. Yeah, it was bad. It was just really bad. We shot weddings for, I think, a year or so under that brand, and we just weren't getting the clients and the couples that we wanted. I remember on our honeymoon, we took an amazing honeymoon all the way up the coast. We stayed in these really cool Airbnb houses. I was looking at my bride and just thinking this is great. The only thing that's gonna ruin it is our horrible name and logo. We're not gonna start our marriage with this branding, it's just not, I don't want to start the rest of my life like this. We said we are changing the name. And so at that point, for the next, I think our whole honeymoon, we were throwing out names what about this name? What about this name? And I remember we were listening to music and Harmony being a naming genius, the band Future of Forestry comes up. And she's like, oh my gosh, Forestry, that is such a cool name. And then I was like, oh, it is a good name, and we love doing outdoor weddings. That's kind of our specialty. How about Forestry Films? And bam, like a light bulb went off, and we're just like, yeah, that's it. And we completely, I remember coming back from our trip, we like deleted our whole website, we bought the domain name, and we contacted a designer, and we just were trying to literally burn that other company as fast as possible, because this one just much more representative of what we wanted to do in weddings. And to kind of give you the heart behind why we do weddings is, I remember, kind of thinking about getting into the wedding business. And lots of people get into wedding filmmaking for the wrong reasons. They get into it wanting to make money, or they love all the camera gear and the technical side of things, and they just want a way to buy that gear or wow people with this amazing drone shot or glide cam or whatever it is. And I didn't want our company to be that. I wanted our company to be about the couples, about serving people, about telling people's stories. I wanted to make films that focused on people, that focused on the interconnections of their history, and really capturing the essence of who these people were, so that 20 years down the line, their kids can look back and see the love that their mom and dad shared, and really serve as a testament to how incredible marriage is. So that was at the heart of everything that I wanted to do, that Harmony and I both wanted to do. And that was another process of the name change, was really coming up with a brand and a company that served our clients in that way, to really communicate the heart of why we do what we do. So that in a nutshell is our story. Basically in the weeks to come, I'll be releasing more videos, kind of really delving deep into, what every aspect of the story is. How did we get clients? What gear do we use? How do we do marketing? How do we, just everything. And I'm really, really excited. And this will all be, free content that I release on the YouTube channel. And actually right now what I've done is I've created this awesome ebook. It's 7 tips on how to market to potential couples and get more work, because that's what we're all trying to do, is try to get the ideal couples to come so that we can serve them. And one of the hardest things is actually trying to get leads. So I made this ebook where it's 7 awesome tips that we've actually used that have propelled our company and allowed us to get the bookings, so that we can, make all the films that you see on our website. So actually, if you click the link below, and it's in the description, and I'll also put it in an annotation right here, and you just click it and you can download that ebook, and it has some really awesome tips and tricks that you can implement immediately that will immediately start to get you leads. And so I'm really excited about these training videos. And if you have any questions about how we started out, feel free to leave your comment in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer those personally. And I'm just really excited to form this relationship with you guys and really serve you and help you guys become better storytellers and filmmakers. All right, David out. Yeah, that was really cheesy. No. Yeah, we're not doing the David out thing. So peace out. Let's try that again. I'm just gonna walk away, kind of like a drop the mic thing. So, okay.